So looking at the outlook this year, over the projection period, we're looking at a fairly rosy picture, I think. We're predicting average annual growth of, projecting average annual growth of 0.7% per year. Now these are in real dollars, 2018, $19, not nominal dollars. So that's growing the industry in real terms ahead of inflation to around $3.3 billion by the end of the period. By the end of the period, we're actually looking at an industry worth about $3.7 billion. I can't remember in my time in fisheries where it's been at that level, so that's really great news for the industry. The set of commodities that will be part of this industry, pretty much the typical players: salmonids, rock lobster, prawns, abalone and tuna. They're the big commodities that make up around 70% of Australian gross value of fisheries and aquaculture production. In those commodities, you don't have any commodities suffering over the outlook period in any big way, and you have quite a few commodities doing well. So salmonids is one to mention. You can see quite a growth story over time for the salmonid industry, an industry that's done a lot to increase salmon consumption in this country and really lift the role of salmon in people's diets. It's really a domestic story there. Rock lobster, really a story of China, development of China, that urbanisation story. We've heard a lot about it at the conference. Change in lifestyle, change in income, more high consumption of luxury products like rock lobster. So really a price premium story in that market. We've heard about the launch of the SAFS reports today. So sustainability for those wild caught stocks, of course, is a very big and important aspect of Australian fisheries, and we're doing a great job there. Looking at trade, we're a trading nation in fisheries production. We export around 50% of our value. If you look over the last 40 years, it's grown quite a bit, both in volume and value terms. A lot of that's really related to that China story. China is the world's has become the world's largest producer of seafood products, largest exporter and quite a significant importer. You can see here, when you look at the global picture, you can see what's happening internationally. A lot of that aquaculture there is what's driving increase in production. But what this figure is really telling you is that the population is going to grow to 8 billion. To sustain consumption of seafood at levels that we see today, it's necessarily got to increase. You can't get much more from wild caught at a global level. It's fairly sustainable at around 80 million tonnes. It's going to come from aquaculture. So that's the global picture, and a lot of that, you'll hear from talks today, a lot of that aquaculture story will play out in Australia going forward as well. Like the increase in aquaculture production over time will happen here as well. Challenges and opportunities for the industries. Always challenges, always opportunities. Here you can see how the export orientation of Australian seafood products has changed over time. Back in 2001-2, Japan was really one of the key markets for fisheries products. That's changed to China now. But interestingly, in the fisheries sector, it's not a story of redirection of one product. Patrick, 1 minute to go. It's not a redirection of one product, but it's actually opening up a new market for new products. It used to be prawns and tuna to Japan. Now it's more abalone, rock lobster to China. Again, that urbanisation story, change of product, and all the challenges in opening up new supply chains to those markets. Looking at the export, really mirrors what's happening in production. We're seeing growth, and you can see the China story there, how the reorientation to trade to China has occurred over time, and that will play out in the outlook period as well. So the key things to take from my talk today, I guess the outlook's looking positive, great news for the industry, great prospects for growth. We're going to hear a lot from my fellow speakers about prospects for new products, new aquaculture products that we don't yet see in a big way in the Australian market scene, and that will develop also. Of course, changing markets offer opportunity and challenges. We've risen to those challenges as an industry in the past. I'm sure it will happen again, and we'll take advantage of the opportunities. Thank you.
Well done.